Hi, I'm Adrian, and I am from Malaysia. I teach business and management in RMIT Vietnam. I have been teaching here since 2005. Overall, it has been a real learning experience for me. There's so much to learn when you are living in a different culture. Some of you who have never been to Vietnam will probably be wondering what Vietnam is like. And some of you will have visions of green rice fields, idyllic villages, unspoiled beaches, wet markets, street vendors, quickie transport systems, trishaw drivers, cheap barbers, and helicopters. Wait, that is Vietnam in 1965. Vietnam today is more like coffee shops, fast food chains, shopping malls, apartment buildings, neon lights, traffic jams, and tourists. Plenty of them. Since the turn of the century, Vietnam has been a hot spot for growth and investments in Southeast Asia. However, like other countries in the region, Vietnam fell victim to the world financial crisis in 2009. Businesses collapsed, loan payments defaulted, foreign direct investments dried up, and inflation shot up. Inflation actually hit 20% or more in 2012. The lower income people suffered the most. They had to tighten their belts, literally, as food and other basic necessities got more expensive. As an example, a bowl of pho or beef noodles, a staple diet for the locals, for breakfast or lunch, went from 20,000 to 40,000 dong in 1 year alone. By the way, the dong is a local currency and it's pegged against the US dollar. When I first came to Vietnam in 2005, it was about 15,000 dong to the dollar. In recent years, the dong has stabilized around 22,000 dong to the dollar. Like a lot of places in the Asian region, the US dollar is highly sought after, and you can exchange them for dong in banks, forex dealers, or the local gold shop. Gold is very popular here. The locals here are happy to trade in their dongs for gold ingots. Until recently, it is not uncommon for the local Vietnamese to purchase their homes with bags of gold ingots. More recently, Vietnam has emerged from the crisis stronger, better equipped for the challenges of the free market. In 2011 and 2012, GDP in Vietnam plunged to a little more than 5%. By 2015, however, GDP recovered to its pre-crisis level of 7%. FDI has also roared back to life. Like GDP, FDI rebounded from less than $4 billion in 2013 to more than $10 billion in 2015. Just last year, Samsung promised $1 billion investment to build a state-of-the-art computer chip facility in Hanoi. The TPPA is also coming up, promising more opportunities for growth and investments. Confidence, both business and consumer, has come back to Vietnam. There is a general feeling of excitement in the air that things are going to get better going forward. Restaurants and cafes are all packed again. Shopping malls are filled to the brim, and traffic are continually jammed with cars and trucks. Vietnam is a very young country. The median age is 28. That is, nearly half of the population is less than 28 years old. The young people is also very literate. 93% of the Vietnamese has primary or secondary school education. There are many local universities and colleges that cater to the youth. RMIT Vietnam, however, is the one and only foreign-owned university in the country. Family ties are very important to the Vietnamese. This is reflected in their everyday conversations. They like to greet friends and acquaintances alike with M for younger brother or An for older brother. Correspondingly, filial piety or respect and obedience to parents and older family members are very strong here. A world survey conducted in 2010 queried the young people in Vietnam of their goals in life. Interestingly, more than 90% of the respondents answered with, "To make my parents proud." Vietnam can be regarded as a collectivist society. Hofstede talks about the collectivist as group focus, where group interests like family are considered more important than individual interests. Personal sacrifices are often made by members for the greater good of the group. For example, it is common for whole families, including uncles, aunties, and cousins, to pool their monies to buy a house or to send a younger family member to further their studies. Further, it is not uncommon for dutiful sons and daughters to be asked to forego their dreams and do what the parent says, like helping out in the family business. The Vietnamese focus on the group or family do have an effect on their communication styles. They are more discreet and indirect. They are rarely ever upfront, especially with criticisms. For example, you will never catch the locals disagreeing with you and saying you are wrong. They are always more subtle with, "I think you can do this a little differently." To the locals, it is important that they speak indirectly so that important others are not offended and good relations are maintained. Likewise, the local Vietnamese preference for indirectness is prevalent in the workplace. For example, employees will rarely say no to a request or instruction. Instead, they might respond with, "I don't understand," or "This is too difficult," leaving their supervisors confused. Again, the idea is not to offend important others and keep good relations. Good relations in turn are most important to maintain a harmonious and productive workplace.